No, but only.
Right now it's you. We'll talk to you.
Yeah, Daddy. No, Jesus. No, I told him.
So you're gonna finish your conversation with my coworker, okay? To your left. To your left.
To the left, Shady.
Feel better?
A little bit. It's still so,
Jittery, right?
yeah, just stressful.
I want you to understand one thing is, do I think that you did the shooting? Do I think that it's your gun?
No, it's not.
You weren't in jail. Don't put yourself in a situation where you end up being accused of something or this man. I could tell by his behavior how he is. He's going to do that with 3 people that have the responsibility of his children. That's not how you act. You obviously don't care about your children. Because to me, my kids are the most important thing to me. If you tell me start jumping, guess what I'm going to start doing?
Yeah, I'm going to start jumping. Yeah, my kids
And
are the most
look at
important.
what he did. Why? Because when you're guilty, you act that way. I've been doing this for 18 years. I can tell you when I can work with somebody and when I can't. I can work with somebody like that. I could work with somebody like you, but I need the truth.
Okay.
It's not that you're going to go to jail. I don't put anybody in jail.
No.
My job is to take away people's kids or leave them in their home if I can keep them safe.
Okay.
I can't keep them safe with that, man. There's a lot more going on than just this. I could tell already. Could tell. Been doing this so many years. She's been doing this for so many years. The reality is that you have to be honest because I have to be able to make you seem like the protected person. And when you lie, how do I make you protected? Because you can't even tell me the truth. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
a lot of the things I already know. I only have to ask you. Look, I'm not asking you questions out of the ordinary. They're very simple. It's going to be physical abuse, general neglect, domestic violence, mental health, substance abuse, criminal history, sexual abuse, and why am I here in your house? For the shooting.
Okay.
So it's very simple. I'm not going to ask you anything else that's out of the ordinary. Everybody gets the same question. Next. Thing is, some people don't take it serious about their kids.
Okay.
And they leave it up to a judge. Do you think a judge is going to keep a kid where somebody's shooting and doesn't care about the neighbor's kids? Or the other neighbor's kids? He's not. Because the judge is going to be like, the first thing the department's going to say, Your Honor, what if it was one of your kids? Take them all away and put them away until they figure out their story. And then bring them back in court in 6 months. Because our courts are, first one, 6 months, 12 months to get your kids back. It's not one day to another. 6 months, the first opportunity to get your kids back. That's a long time without your kids.
Yeah, that's definitely a long time. But if I didn't do anything, why would they have to be taken away?
We're not cops, so remember, you're allowing this man, remember how you say you didn't know he brought a gun? Now you know that he brought a gun. Now you're letting him stay in your house.
Well, no, now, like, I literally, when I was on my way, over here, like I said, we were debating, he just got out, I didn't know he was going to get out, so, he was trying to make the decision with the apartment. Now that I talked to the lawyer, said he can't stay in the house. So now definitely, if it's gonna take the risk of my kids, being taken away or him, of course I'm gonna choose the kids. So,
But
he's not gonna
happen?
stay.
Because I walk in your house and your mom and your dad, they're saying completely different things. Don't forget that the police told us they talked to your dad. And you're here standing and telling us that these men that went to your house wanted to put hands on you. Your dad said that wasn't true. That they never put hands on you.
Oh, no, they did. I mean, if you guys said there was cameras, okay, my thing is, like, why would 4 men come to surround me and try to attack, right? Obviously, 4 men, one with the beanie on, what were they going to be up? Obviously, to no good, right? Why are you showing up to my house when I didn't give you my address? You're obviously premeditating something. You're looking for my car.
But here's the thing. Call the police.
Oh, I did. I was in the phone with the police. I was in the phone with the police.
But why does Edwin come out of your house with a gun?
He didn't come out of my house.
That's what
he came in the car.
Here's the thing. That's what.
But he came in the car.
I understand. He went inside the house, and then he came back out.
The guys are saying that he ran inside the house.
But
Edwin came in the car.
So then that gun was just on him? So he was driving with the gun?
I don't know like I said, I don't know where he came from. I was not aware that he had it. I did not know. I did not. That's the thing. You guys want me to tell the truth, but I wasn't aware that he had a gun.
Check this out. A very quick question. When he got out of jail and you let him back in your house to think about if he was going to come back, what did you say? What happened?
When he got out of jail?
And he came back into the house. And he was sitting down at your house right now. You didn't ask him?
What happened? Yeah, I asked him.
What did he say?
He did. He told me that he had brought that from Florida, but I'm not sure.
He brought what?
Yeah, well, he hasn't really testified to me because I told him that I didn't want to know anything about the case, and a big part of me is like I just don't want to be involved because of my kids, and I don't want to.
Number one mistake, you should know.
Yeah.
My house, I know everybody that comes into my house, what they're bringing in my house and what they're taking out.
Yeah.
Because listen, not because of my safety, because of my children.
Because of the kids, yeah.
100%.
But what I was scared of is this.
I'm not
okay,
done.
That's fine.
What I'm trying to say is you already know this man is bringing stuff without your consent because you're saying you didn't know he brought this into your house, correct?
Yeah, I didn't know.
So wouldn't you want to know, motherfucker, what are you doing? Why are you bringing this into my house? You cannot come into my house because there's a gun that I don't know where it's at or where you put it. I want to know.
House.
Yes.
That's your parents' house, right?
Yeah, that's my parents.
So he's bringing guns into your parents' house. He should at least tell you. But more importantly, like I'm gonna tell you another thing, and I'm just very straightforward. I don't like to sugarcoat anything, and I don't want you to ever say I didn't know. You're gonna know. So, Your Honor, she says that's none of her business, and she doesn't ask him. And when she came back, she didn't want to get involved in it.
No, it's not that.
Okay,
I was scared.
Stop. Okay, so when I asked you the question, now I need you to tell me because that's what you had told me.
I'm trying to tell you.
What I'm telling you is this is what you told me. So I don't want to get involved and I don't want to know. So he's going to say, so she didn't care? So think about what you're, exactly. You're putting yourself in a bigger hole. I want to help you, Cynthia. You're not helping me. You keep putting me in a situation, take her kids. Stop it, please, because you're making it a bigger deal. When you say the truth, then I can say, Your Honor, she made a mistake, and I can work with her. But instead, you're making me say, Your Honor, she said that she didn't want to get involved, and she doesn't want to ask those questions. Well,
no, it's not that I don't want to ask.
Take her kids, and when she remembers, bring her back in 6 months.
It's not that I don't want to ask those questions. I was just, I was afraid to be put in the situation where the kids could be at risk. Because
but they are
with him around they're at risk. Yeah, unfortunately.
You're not understanding what we're saying. They are at risk with him.
I mean that's what I'm saying now. If it's gonna obviously now it's the extent for to choose him or my kids. I'm obviously gonna choose my kids. He needs to get out of the house. Period.
Perfect.
That's it.
So now I need to ask you all these questions. So when he came back out of jail again, what did you ask to be protected? Tell me, what's his name?
Edwin.
What's his real name?
Edwin.
Edwin what?
Cruz.
Because he has another name. What's that?
Oh, name? Eddie. I just call him Eddie just because my brother's name is Edwin too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Edwin,
so tonight, yeah.
All right, so what did you say? What happened? I know these guys came because he must have sold them a bad car and they were pissed. I get that. Do I believe in the as-is rule? Absolutely. You shouldn't have bought a car from, was it Facebook? Or
It was Marketplace.
Yeah, you shouldn't have bought a car from there because you're going to get cars like that.
Oh, but we let them drive the cars.
But there's the luck that you run.
Yeah, there is.
There is,
and you know, if you're buying a $15 car,
do I give you that? Absolutely. Should they have came to your house and done all that? I agree, 1,000%. What we're here talking about is him coming with a gun and shooting, and everybody saying it's coming. He went and grabbed it from the house, and then when law enforcement did a search warrant, they found ammunition inside the house. So the ammunition, it gets blamed by, they do their job.
That's what I'm saying. If they have cameras, like they could check the camera.
Explain so you understand the difference.
Oh no, but he was looking at me.
So they get to do whatever they stuff as criminal. Dependency is very different.
Dependency of
so
us.
This man does not live here. Eddie does not live here.
No.
Your Honor, the mom, the kids, and the grandparents, and the father, number one, lives there, correct? George. They live here, so I can only blame the mother for the ammunition. Because Edwin does not live there. Perfect. Count against her. Immediately. Because it is your house with your children. It is not his house. The other thing is, if it's his house, it's his ammunition. And I don't have nothing on you.
Yeah, but he didn't live there. That's what I'm trying to say.
So it's yours. Why did you have that ammunition?
He used to live there before.
And
he moved, like I said, he moved. If you guys took notes earlier, I said he moved in October. We had separated, and we were separated. He recently moved back about 2 weeks ago. I don't know the exact date.
Okay, so I heard it was 2 days ago.
Yeah. And now
No, I said 2 days.
2 weeks ago?
I said 2 days ago he moved. He got out of jail and he
moved back in.
He didn't move back in. He didn't. That's what I'm saying. He didn't move back in. He hasn't brought his things from the apartment back in. He still has the apartment. He still has a lease.
Sneakers are in your closet.
Those are sneakers that have been there, and those are my sons. It's me, my sons, and all my kids. That closet is all of us.
So maybe you can explain because it's not making any sense.
No, but I don't like.
When we took
Can you let me finish because you're not letting me talk? I also want to express my. You just told me that those are his things. That closet belongs to all of my kids, me, myself, and all the clothes. It's there. So how do you know that was his clothes?
So I know.
Or are you just assuming?
No.
You just said it was his sneakers.
You're not letting me talk. Okay?
Okay,
The sneakers, let me be honest, I don't give a shit about the sneakers. It's the ammunition, because now do we blame you for the ammunition?
But the more important, he told me he lives there when I walked in.
Yes.
And he can say that, but again, he has the apartment. He has the apartment,
I have to go with what he tells me legally.
And I explained that a couple of times already. That I said that he had gotten out of jail. And, he had stayed there for 2 nights. And then, he still has the apartment. He still has the lease to the apartment. He has a full year of lease. So I said we were debating what to do. I don't have his address with me. It's 30, I think it's like 3950 Virginia in Long Beach, Virginia Road in Long Beach. Like I said, he lived in, believe it, he's on the 3rd floor. I don't remember exactly the apartment.
By himself?
Yes, he had like a roommate, but the lease and everything is by himself.
Okay. And you've always lived with your mom and your dad?
Yeah, for the most part, I'd lived with my mom and my dad.
When did you move to your mom and dad?
It's been since like 2017. I lived by myself for like a year, and then I moved back with my parents.
What year did you live by yourself, in 2016?
About 2016, I think.
Okay.
Not exact with the dates, but yeah, around there. But for the most part, I lived with my parents.
So, you had mentioned that he lived in Florida and had just moved here. So did he live in Florida? Hold on.
Yeah.
Did he live in Florida or did he live on 3950 Virginia Road, Long Beach? Because he lives in Florida and he just moved here. and he lives in Long Beach for about a year on Virginia Road. So which one do we?
No, it hasn't been a year. I said he moved in October from our house. We split, and he left
To Virginia.
to Florida.
So
And it was around September, October. I'm not too quite sure, but I know it was around that time. September, October, one of those months. He left, and then he moved. He tried to relocate back for the kids, and that's when he got the lease to the apartment.
when did he get the lease? To the
It was about 2 weeks ago.
Were you guys?
A month. I think the lease he signed it like a month ago, but you know when like the whole transition, it was 2 weeks.
So he moved in on January 1st.
Yeah, you can put January 1st.
Were you and him gonna move there with?
No, it's a 1-bedroom just for him.
Okay.
We didn't have plans to move back in together.
Your dad. You say your dad does not like you.
It's not that my dad doesn't like him. Is we.
Can I roll the badge?
Yeah. What's going on with him?
No, he just said like that if when we split, if he was to leave again, he wasn't gonna be allowed back in the house. We would have to get our own place. But I just decided for us to stay separated.
Why did you guys separate?
It's just we weren't seeing eye to eye on things. I think we spend too much time like together with the business, and we weren't seeing eye to eye on things, so we just separated. It's mostly because we were clashing with the business.
Okay, so I know you guys had an incident a few years ago where you guys seemed to have clashed and the police went to your house. Can you tell me about it? And he put hands on you.
Was that on? Where was that at?
So it happened a couple times, right?
It didn't happen a couple of times. Like I had called the police one time where he had came into my house, and we weren't. He was staying in Florida, and then he had moved back. He was trying to move back, and then he came to my house, and I told him that I didn't want him in my house, so he didn't want to get out, and I had told the cop. I had called the cops.
What year was this?
I think it was like, what year was this? It's like I think it was 2016. If I'm not mistaken. I had like gotten a restraining order against him or something. Like I remember getting a restraining order.
Did you?
Or I didn't physically came, but I did tell the officers that I wanted a restraining order.
So they gave you a temporary one?
I believe it was a temporary one. I remember one time we had gone to Mexico. I knew that he had a restraining order because we had gone to Mexico to Rosarito. And when we were trying to cross, they had to keep him or like arrest him because he was with me.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew that the restraining order was put in place. Yeah, and then I had to go to court and lift obviously the restraining order and all that.
There was a time where he pushed you.
It was that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly did he do?
He was gonna give me the car. He was gonna give me the car seat to the baby. The car seat was on his car, so when he was trying to give me the car seat, and when he was trying to leave the car seat inside the house, I just told him to leave it outside the house, and he tried to push me out the way to put the car seat inside the house.
He's hit you before. How many times in total has he hit you?
It wasn't like hit. It was more like pushing.
Pushing is hitting. You're not allowed to push you. If I pushed you, I would go to jail. If she pushed you, you would go to jail. She would go to jail. So pushing is hitting legally.
I mean, those guys tried to push me, and it wasn't because I didn't see a weapon. It wasn't.
We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about
Yeah,
Edwin
so
right now.
for us, we're only going to strictly do with this.
Oh,
I can
okay.
get you Lisando's phone number. He'll be here in the morning. I'll tell him to give you a call because I need to explain to him how your husband was behaving. And
Okay.
that's not okay.
That's fine.
Because he is a violent person. He has shot at people. He's not supposed to have a gun.
Because he assaulted someone with a firearm.
In the
That's why
past.
he's not allowed to have one.
What happened with that one?
But the problem is that you guys are pushing and I get it. That was absolutely wrong. What he did, what he's getting accused for, I perfectly understand. But I just hate to feel like, not at all like we're the victims. Like, these guys came to our house. My kids are inside, so
we established that already, that we understand what they did.
That's okay.
It's not fine. But at the end of the day, we're not cops, so we're not dealing with the criminal side. We're dealing with parents.
But sometimes people react to that. There's kids inside the house, and
he's not allowed
if
to
you're
have
getting
a gun,
attacked.
Cynthia.
No, and I get
So
it.
how is he getting it, and why does he feel comfortable in bringing it around your house and leaving his ammunition at your house when he doesn't live there?
No, I perfectly understand that, but I just, like I said, I hate to feel like we're not the victims at all. Like it's
no,
like,
you're a victim completely. That these people came to your house and wanted to get their money back. Absolutely, when you have an as-is deal, completely, you can't go shooting at people. Sorry.
No, I get it, but there was also threats of them having guns, so it's like, it's not just them showing up, it's them with the guns and all of that.
That's what you need to talk to Detective Lizardo about, because at the end of the day, it's their gun that they're looking for. It's him shooting at the home of your children with your 1-year-old outside. Our job is to not figure out who's at fault. No.
No, I get it. I mean, I guess that's not for you guys to,
That's what we're trying to justify.
No, I'm not justifying it at all. Like I said, what he did, if he did shoot and if he's found guilty, it's absolutely wrong. Like, I would hate to have anybody, shoot or near my house. Like, if the neighbors, whatever it was, yeah, I would be upset, and I understand because
somebody accidentally gets hit, because it happens all the time.
Oh yeah,
and
of course.
Gets murdered. They were not even involved in this, but he's over there trying to play vigilante when he's a felon that's not supposed to have this weapon. There's rules why these certain people shouldn't have them.
Yeah, I understand.
He can't control his anger. I can tell you, he can't control his anger.
And you know that more than us.
Yeah, the way he behaved with social workers who are responsible to make a decision over his kids, horrible. I would never get in a social worker's face.
No, I get it. Like, I would, like I said, like I perfectly understand, and I'm sorry for that. Like, it's my kids. Like, that's why I said it's my kids at the end of the day.
Because that's a big person right there. Think about it. I have to make a determination, and he got in my face. I can easily say, fuck it, take him.
No, and I would, that's the reason why I showed up. I don't want my kids to be at risk.
That wasn't her. Go back and tell her we still need to talk to her. Because that wasn't her. That was him. You care. I could tell you
I care for my kids, of course.
I could tell.
But you gotta talk for them, because you can't let him talk for you. You can't let your mom talk for you. Like, these are your children.
No, I mean, when you guys were calling, obviously, it's been a stressful situation for me and the kids. It's stressful. Like, I hate to think, like, it stresses me out. Obviously, I get nervous. Like, it's child, services. Like, I don't want nothing to happen to my kids.
As long as you come with the truth,
I can help you with that.
We can work with that. But
I can leave the kids, open up a case, and say he can't come over. As soon as he comes over, I take him, is what I put on the deal.
Yeah, which is, exactly like I said, I talked to the lawyer, and he told me Edwin is not allowed to step foot in your house. And I get it. Like I said, if it comes between him and my kids, excuse my language, I'm fucking choosing my kids over him.
You don't have to worry about language.
Like, I am not, he's out the question.
You should.
And I get, like, it's a lot, like, it's a lot going on. Like, it's a lot for me, and it's a lot for the kids. And like I said, he used to live there, and it's just, I know it's hard to believe because it's been, like, everything's so recent, but he lived there in September, October, he left. And there's flights. I mean, if you guys go into details, there's tickets, there's tickets when he came back. There's, proof. He has a lease. Like, he has a lease for the same reason. Like, he was not living there. Like I said, I picked him up from jail. He asked me to pick them up, and, he was staying there for it's been 2 nights, and that's it. Like, he hasn't, but again, if it's gonna be for him to leave or my kids to stay, like, he's gonna have to leave. Like, just go to the apartment.
And it should be something that I really want you to understand why he can't be there. It's not so much like, well, I'll do anything to keep my kids. Really understand that this man is reckless. You know what I mean? This man does not care for the safety of his children.
He doesn't care about the safety of nobody's kids if you're going to be shooting at people like that.
There's bullet holes in people's houses. Like, understand that. Imagine if he had hit someone,
They're upset. They're mad at you guys.
So, yeah.
They're mad.
Rightfully so. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they're- of course.
Rightfully so. And it's like even more of a reason.
I didn't know that there was bullet holes somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until you guys are telling me. I didn't know there was
There are
bullet
people
holes.
upset. Why do you think everybody's reporting everything? Because
Yeah,
their
I
houses
didn't know.
got shot up. And they're saying, hey, my camera says he came out of the house with a gun.
Yeah, like I said, if there's cameras, like you guys can see everything there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, again, if there's cameras, you guys can see he doesn't live there. We show the cars around the corner. Like I said, I've never showed the car. I never give anybody my address to the house.
And that makes
You know,
total
and
sense.
if it's somebody that comes to the house, it's that my dad accidentally sent on offer up the house address. But I personally never send nobody to my house, and I know for a fact that these guys, I was texting them, so I never sent them to my house.
No, I think I agree. Like, again, I don't think that you did the whole thing with that. I
Mhm.
don't think that you had a gun. Let's be clear about certain things. I don't think about none of that. Do I think that you love your kids and you want to be protective of your kids? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Was it a good idea having the man that just did the whole shooting sitting right there and then get aggressive with the supervisor?
No.
Let's just be realistic.
Mhm.
Let's be realistic. If you're gonna have conversations with him, just say thank you for fucking it all up.
Mhm.
'Cause
No, I did call him and I told him, like, you know, like if I wanted to talk to them, like, why are you coming?
Well,
And
you're
you know, like
gonna-
I just, you know,
Plain and
to
simple.
his,
If he doesn't live there, get the fuck out of my house. I'm gonna
Yes,
talk
get
to
out.
them. Don't ask
You
him for
don't.
permission.
Look, when people act guilty.
I did say that though. I don't know if you heard me. I told them leave. I want to talk to them.
You
I
said,
was
can
telling.
I, but you did say,
I want-
can I talk to
to-
them? Yeah.
Well, it's because I was trying to say, like, I want, like, you know, in a way saying that
You're
I was
trying
talking
calm
to.
him too.
Yeah,
I
like-
get it.
Yeah.
Which is why you're here.
And then my kids, you know, I don't want them to see the whole commotion. And then I also don't like them to hear, they don't know, like, about the whole shooting situation. So I don't want them to also hear that because that's also
But
traumatizing
at
for
the end
them.
of the day, they're gonna know because they're gonna have attorneys involved, and their attorneys have to tell them why they're in court, because the court is gonna be for them. And the reality is, why can't he come here? Because he did all this, and those are just facts.
So they have to, the kids have to go to court?
Mhm. They have to go to court. The judge has to make a determination on the case. It's always good that you're upfront and honest,
Mm-hmm.
and just say, here's the situation. Did he do the shooting? Probably so. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be honest. You don't want to be the person.
No, and I did say, I don't know, you know, I was inside the house. I don't know what went wrong. Like, again, it was around the corner where the officer said everything happened.
Okay, so after the shooting, what happened?
After the shooting,
Because
they...
you had communication with him.
And detectives.
We have a lot of calls.
Okay, yeah.
So I want you to be honest. And they also, I'm getting all the calls from the jail in the morning.
Mhm.
So, what happened?
So what had happened after I was calling him, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, he wouldn't answer. So then I started getting nervous and I'm like, what's going on? You know? And then, since he didn't answer, the officer had told me that if, we had the paperwork for the car that we sold.
Yeah.
So he keeps like all the pictures on his phone.
Okay.
So I texted him and I told him, hey, do you have the pictures? And the officer was there. I said, I need the pictures of, like, you know, the picture that you took of the license and the paperwork.
Mhm.
He texted me, I don't have it. And then, you know, I obviously went off and I'm like, what the hell? You know, like, you're supposed to have this. This is what was going to help us. So that happened. That was the conversation I
It was
had.
only handwritten, or what was it?
The
pink slip. You guys just did that handwritten.
Yeah, so we give them the title.
Uh-huh.
Then we give them a print bill of sale. It's a bill of sale
Uh-huh.
that has a stamp of our dealer license, and then it's obviously signed. We both have to sign it, and then I give them the assets that is printed with all the information of the car that I sell, stating
Okay.
that you're purchasing the car as is and
all
no
that
warranty.
when he didn't get it, or what happened?
Yeah, he told me he didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if he told me he didn't have it because he wasn't going to send it to me or what the case is, but we usually take pictures. Like, I always make sure we try to take pictures of all the records because obviously if we go to court, that's what's going to help me, right? So that was the message that I sent. And then he had texted me after. He said, like, hey, what's going on? Are you guys okay? I didn't answer that message. And then my phone got confiscated. And then, you know, I didn't have no contact with him anymore. So, you know, when my phone got confiscated, I was, you know, just like, I had called his mom and I told him, you know, I'm like, Eddie's not answering the phone. This happened, like, you know, they told me that, you know, there was a firearm. I told her that there was a shooting and there was a firearm, and I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't talked to him, you know, and I just gave her the breakdown of everything that happened, that the cops had
She's
came.
in Florida?
Yeah, she's in Florida.
And
He was the one that I called, and then at 8 a.m., I didn't know nothing about him until 8 a.m. Because his calls were going to voicemail. So at 8 a.m., she tried calling and she said the calls are going to voicemail. He's not answering. So then at 8 a.m., he called me. He called my mom from jail, and then he called me to my dad's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to my dad's phone, and because my mom was working, she wasn't with me at the time. And then, you know, he told me what had happened and that he was getting charged with attempted murder, and then, you know, to try to get him a lawyer.
And again, this is just a question I have, just out of curiosity. Why didn't you want to give law enforcement his cell phone number when they asked you for it? And your response was like, I don't want to give it to you.
I didn't want to, like, when they asked me for it, I'm like, I'm just not going to, you know, give them any information. And then I didn't want to talk anymore because they were telling me that I was lying. So I'm like, I'm not going to say anything anymore.
Why
And
did you
then at
say
the
we're
same
lying?
time, he was, because they said that the cameras, I told them that the camera in the front wasn't, my dad has cameras up in the front, right? But he bought those cameras from Amazon, and I think you need to put like a SIM card, and he didn't realize that the cameras weren't filming the whole time. So I told him, I don't think those cameras are working, you know, because I tried to tell him, you know, what the guys had done. And then he said, like, well, we can see the cameras, right? And I'm like, yeah, you can see the cameras. And I'm like, I hope they work, because I think that camera is not filming, if I'm not mistaken. So he thought I was lying. But then I brought my dad and I told him, Dad, can you show them, like, you know, your phone with the cameras and see if if the phone is working. He realized that I wasn't lying, you know, but the cameras, they're really not filming.
You have to connect them to like a cloud or something.
It's like a SIM. I think you need like an SD card or something like that. But my dad, you know, I think for he has it mostly for, we've gotten a couple of people that try to we got in our catalytic converter. So in fact, we got 2 nights ago when Eddie got out of jail, they stole one of our cars in front of the house.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, I guess my dad has the cameras to try to scare people, but they don't work. They still do.
Do you have any criminal history?
No.
Does he have criminal history?
He has that arrest that he had, like, I think when he was 17, I believe. I wasn't with him at the time, so I'm not quite sure of the year.
Quick question. The father to your oldest son lives there?
Yes, he rents. Initially.
So what's the dynamics?
Okay,
there?
so initially, my parents had moved out from their house, and Jaden's dad was looking for an apartment at the same time that my parents were also looking for a house.
Okay.
My dad, we're from Mexico, so they're from the same pueblo.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the pueblo. So my dad my dad knows his family, so I guess he felt the need to say, like, hey, if you want to come stay in the room,
Mm-hmm.
you're more than welcome to rent. We're going to have an extra room. So when they moved into that house, they had the extra rooms. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why my dad said, like, do you want to come rent a room? So that's how it started. Then we moved back. I had to move to Florida, and then we got hit with the hurricane. So I moved back, and that's how we ended up living together.
Do they get along, or if there's any issues there?
Yeah, they get along for the most part. They get along. Yeah, there's no George is really never home, so that's the reason why. I think
he gets to see his son, right?
Yeah, he gets to spend time with Jaden a lot. Yeah.
Any other arrests for Edwin?
No, not that I know
What about George?
of. George, he has no criminal history.
Are you cool with him too?
Yeah, I'm very
What's
cool with
George's
him.
full name?
George's full name is Jorge Rivera.
And date of birth?
It's November 9, 110986. I'm sorry. That's how I remember
Yeah,
it.
that's totally fine. And does anybody smoke, drink, or use drugs?
No.
Your husband, nothing?
No, Eddie occasionally smokes cigarettes. Occasionally, when he's like drinking, or when he's drinking a beer, or he's out with friends
Okay.
at a bar. Like, oh, yeah, but not.
Not really.
He tries to keep it away from the kids. Yeah.
Okay. And you don't do nothing?
I don't. Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay. Any sexual abuse ever alleged for your kids?
No.
Any mental health history in your family? Like anyone been diagnosed with anything, taking therapy?
No.
Medicine?
No.
There was another incident where you and Edwin got in an argument where he was breaking furniture or vases in the house. And it was another time that
Well, I think that was the same event. No, I believe that was the same event.
Your parents are okay with how he acts?
No, it's not. I guess my dad is more like, Eddie has a more Americanized way than, like my dad is more strict, like, how can I explain it? Like he's from Mexico, so he has more like, he has to tell me, like if he says tú, it's already like disrespectful to him, He likes a more like, how can I explain it? I don't know how to say it, but it's like a more, see, yeah, like that, yeah. So to my dad, he finds it like disrespectful sometimes how he talks, like he's from New York, so Eddie is very, I don't know, very like just the way he talks. Sometimes he could come out very aggressive.
I could tell just the way he moves too. I'm not gonna lie. I could tell he. There's one thing about respect, and then there's another thing about like you just don't know how to talk to people, and then how you talk to people when you're aggressive towards people. I don't get how he acts with you.
I mean, with me, he, like we've clashed a couple of times, but it's not like, I'll tell him, like I'll catch him, and I'll tell him don't talk to me like that, or like if something bothers me or something is like not right, it doesn't sit well with me. I'll
tell you your kids don't like it.
Oh, I mean, I could understand, like, I've had...
Let's not make excuses over it. Let's address that it's not okay.
No,
if
it's
your
not.
kid doesn't like it, it's not okay. Why not have your kid live a healthy life instead of having to hear how his stepdad talk to his mom? He doesn't like it. He needs to stop. Nobody, I don't like nobody, including my dad, talking to my mom like that. I don't like it. And that's where I'm coming from. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
He doesn't like it. It needs to stop. It's not healthy for him. And even now, like, the social worker talking to him had to calm him down because he was pacing in front of him when she was talking to him. Look, if you're caught, one thing is being a man and you gotta act like a man now.
Yeah.
You suffer your consequences.
Yeah, of course.
But now you're doing it to the kid where you're pacing in front of him, making him uncomfortable. And your kid has enough confidence to tell the social worker, I just wanted to stop. I don't want it anymore. So, I'm letting you know. I don't think
I'm sure all of this has been stressful for them. They've seen me break down.
No. He's not talking about you. Again, stop minimizing. Hear what I'm saying. Unless you're not comprehending, and then I'm going to send you to class and then make you learn and understand it.
No, I comprehend.
So then we're not going to make an excuse because he's not talking about how you're behaving. Who is he talking about?
Eddie, yeah.
So it's not okay is what we're telling you. We're not going to justify it. We're going to hear, what's the oldest child's name? Jaden. We're going to validate Jaden's feelings. It's okay for him not to like it.
No, of course. He's entitled to feel
so then
however
we're leaving at that.
feels.
We're not going to say that it's a stressful environment. He doesn't like how he's behaving either.
Or how he's treating you too, and what he's seen in the house.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. And it's okay. And usually kids, because he has a different dad, he's more at liberty to not like that. Because usually it's like, oh, it's my dad talking to my mom. It's different. It bothers him probably. Or whatever. I don't know the dynamics. I don't live with you guys. I just know what he's telling me. And it is what it is. And again, a grown man pacing and getting upset, I wouldn't like it either.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Any Indian ancestry in your family?
Any what, I'm sorry?
Indian ancestry in your family?
No.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, I guess just like, my concern is like, what would happen next? Like, what is it exactly
So we're
that I
doing
need
it.
to do for my kids to not
You need to be
be at
protective
risk?
and not make excuses, not move a man who's going to be aggressive or violent, and definitely not going to do it to a social worker or a supervisor,
Okay.
because you're going to rub the wrong social worker.
Of course, no. And I said, like I said, I'm sorry about that. Like, it
No,
was
you don't
my
have to
intentions
apologize. You
weren't-
didn't do it. You didn't do it. But I like that you're acknowledging it, because it's not okay. And there's something wrong there. I can't pinpoint it there. But there's something up with this man. Because I know he gets triggered really, really fast. So I don't know what it is. I don't live with him, but I'm already not liking the way he's behaving with us. Let me tell you one thing. One thing that I've noticed in 18 years, people who clean their house, clean their act, make everything seem like it's okay. He can't keep it together. He couldn't even keep it together for us. Couldn't. And that's the facts and the realities. He's going to show out when there's a possibility of him losing his kids.
Yeah, that was,
I don't understand it.
That was not right.
Because if you tell me start hopping for my kid,
I'm gonna, yeah.
right there, how high is what I'm going to say. Because it matters. They hurt me.
Yeah,
Why do you
of
think
course.
I'm working here for them? Why do you think you sell cars and you will hustle and do everything you do? For them.
Yeah.
For them. I know look, I'm going to tell you this. I think those people were completely wrong to your house. That's just horrible. But I think that he just went about it the wrong way. He needed to communicate it with those men or whatever, and they just say, hey, let's just call the police and figure it out. But there's a lot of he said, she said going on with them in that situation, because they have the text messages.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they showed up to our house, but maybe that's just criminal. They
Yeah,
came
and I
to the
agree
house.
with
Have they
you.
never showed up to our house and start being aggressive like they were? Then, maybe this wouldn't have led to that. And I'm not saying what he did was right. It was absolutely wrong, but they came looking for us, and they obviously premeditated because they looked for my car. They, everything. Like, so, yeah.
And I mean, were they coming with great intentions? I don't think so either.
No, they weren't.
I
Yeah.
don't think so either. So I give you that 1,000%, but that's a criminal thing.
Yeah,
But I
that's
give you
of course.
that 1,000%. However, the way that he's acted and then showed the hell out in front of social workers that got to determine what's happening, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. So you need to explain that to him. Just say, I don't know how you're going to clean that up. Clean it up, because it's not going to look good. Because now it's criminal court that he's going to deal with, and defendants. You go to jail, and here you got to do all these programs in order to get your kids back. But if you're in jail, there's no programs, so we take you out the question.
So my question to you guys what's the risk that I have that my kids get taken away from me, or what is it that, what is the next step?
You got to show us how protective you are. Where's our restraining order? Where's going to be we're done with this man apparently, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like I said,
So
if it
then
has
you're
to
done.
be
The
with my kids.
communication, if law enforcement says, I need you to cooperate with this, because in order to do all this, you have to cooperate with everything.
Okay.
And abide by all laws. Abide by all laws, because that's one of our case plans. You're going to have to abide by everything. You're going to have to ensure that everything that he owns is out of the house by tomorrow.
Okay.
He's not allowed to come into the house. If the department wants you to get a restraining order, you get up and go get a restraining order.
Okay.
No excuses. It's and I'm going to tell you one thing. I understand people. She understands people. You're going to get a social worker that might not understand. It might not be from your own race. It might be a woman, a Caucasian woman, and she's going to say, I don't care. So don't start with the whole justifying, and it's going to rub the wrong social worker wrong. And they're going to make a determination for your kids. Always, if they say, I need you to do this, right away, I'm on my way. I need you to do this, right away, I'm on my way. If he wants to see his kids, he's going to talk to the social worker. He's not going to talk to you.
Okay.
That's what he's got to work with.
So we're gonna have a social worker.
Oh yeah, you have
right
to.
now.
There's no choice. I mean, I can't. There's ammunition in your house, but you're gonna keep your kids for now. If anything changes from here into a court, look, what happens in court, and I'm going to be very quite honest with you, what happens in court, I can't control. I can say, Your Honor, she's going to work with me, she's going to do everything that she's going to do. Yes, Erasmo, but the reality is she's lying to me. Take up.
Okay.
And then there's in some cases where there's kids who need to be taken, and the judge will be like, no, that's her problem. Make her parent them.
Okay.
I can't control it. You never know what'll happen in a courtroom. That's why I'm saying you give us the information so we write in a certain way where it gets to the judge to read in a certain way where you're protected versus she's lying, she's not cooperating with law enforcement. Because as soon as I go talk to him tomorrow in the morning, guess what he's going to say about you? You need to call Lizardo and just be like, whatever you need, Lizardo, I'm here for you.
Lizardo is a detective.
That's one of the detectives, and he's the one who said she didn't want to provide information.
His phone number, yeah.
We talked to him yesterday, but he said that he has nothing with the case. Well, he basically finished his determination already with the case.
Which is why he was arrested.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he said we tried to call him yesterday, and he said
because he got arrested. That's what I'm saying. If they need anything from you, you cooperate. You don't say.
But
no,
do I have to talk to Lizardo again, or is he done with the case?
I have
That's
no
what I'm
idea.
saying.
You could just follow up with him and just say, if you need anything else, let me know.
Oh no, I did that yesterday because I
Okay.
called him from my phone and I asked, is there anything else that But he said that he was basically had written his case already. That's why I'm saying I didn't know I had to call him again.
Okay. Well, if he
Yeah.
does call you, cooperate. You don't want to
Okay.
seem to be the person that's still protecting the.
And not just that, like, there's a missing gun. You don't want this man around you. Like, look how he acted towards us. You know what I mean? Like, let him find out you're out here talking to us. So it's like, be
He's
careful
acting
with
like
people
he's
like
on
that.
bail. Oh, we could get him easily arrested.
You see what I
Let
mean?
me go
Like,
set him up really quick.
So it's like, just
Where
be
do you
cautious.
go right now?
You know
What's
what
your
I mean?
cell phone number?
You're an adult.
What's his
He
cell
has.
phone?
I have his cell phone because he left his cell phone. I don't have a phone.
How did you talk to him when you were on your way here? Because that's what you told me. What number did you call?
He took my phone because I guess he got mistaken. So it's the phone it's my son's phone, the phone that I'm currently using right now. So it's 562.
This is his?
Yeah, that's his. No, this is my phone, but he took it right now. So he took my phone accidentally, and I brought his phone. But do you want the phone that he has right now, or do you want his original phone? His phone that he has right now is 562-346. I don't know by memory. I believe it's 346. Hold on. 4187, I think it is, but let me verify with you. It's 562-349-4187.
You got it?
Yeah, 3494.
349-4187.
Yeah.
So that's the phone he has right now. Like I said, he took this one. He doesn't have a phone either, so we just kind of picked up phones that we had from the kids and are using them right now.
And does he want to talk to us, or he wants to go through attorneys?
I mean, I'm sure that, he could talk. He could talk. I'm sure.
Honestly, it doesn't have to be this difficult.
No, it doesn't.
It
And I'm sure, that he probably
He's a hothead.
he probably was just, I think what he said to me was like, I didn't like the fact that they were saying that the shooter, when it was all like, they came to the house. And it's no excuses. That's how he feels. But again, like you said, this is all now about the kids. And he called me. He said, I'm sorry for making it difficult. I'm so sorry. If they want to talk to me, tell them to give me a call. He did say that when I talked to him, he actually told me,
you
do what they ask you to do.
It doesn't even seem to be, you have to explain it to him. Look, the reality is you made a mistake and there's consequences to it. As a man, you're going to have to suffer the consequences. At least don't. Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I speak Spanish.
Que no te lleven a ti entre
las patas, yeah.
Porque adivina qué es lo que está haciendo, te está llevando entre las patas.
Yeah, I don't like that, because it's obviously, like I said, it's just me and my kids, and I have no, history, record, no nothing. Like, I think it's just so overwhelming for me. I've been in and out the hospital, like, I'm just over it at this point, So like I said, I'm gonna do my best to keep the kids healthy. Obviously now it's gonna affect them. Now they know for the most part what's going on.
Try to talk to them and explain.
Yeah, the oldest one, I'm sure Jaden will understand. Alan too, he's very, he's very articulate, like he understands a lot, and I know he sees me, and it you know, like I think that when he seen the cops, he kind of pinpointed what was going on. Gino is the one that is, you know, which is the 7-year-old that kind of worries me because he's, you know, he's also hard-headed. Yeah.
Any other questions? Green folder?
Yeah, let me go get it.
Okay. So just wait for us right here.
Okay.
So, anytime there's an investigation open, we go over these disclosure forms. So we always give them to our clients, okay?
Okay.
So the first one is civil rights. If you feel like your civil rights have been violated, it goes step by step on how to file a complaint, okay?
Okay.
This one's Spanish. You're English speaking, right?
Yeah, I speak English.
Okay. If you don't know what your civil rights are, this is a list of all of them, okay?
Okay.
Now to go English and Spanish. If you have any type of disability, you don't want to disclose it, you can always call the number here and let them know whatever disability you have, and they make accommodations to that disability.
Okay.
This is yours. We always give the phone number to 211 if you need any counseling, parenting classes, because court's going to order you to participate in parenting. So I would suggest you start.
I'll start. I'll
look
start.
for.
Is there like? Is this like for like where the kids could come and like, you know, therapy and all that? Is that what it is?
We're gonna
or is
refer
that
them to that.
Oh, okay.
But this is more for like towards you. So like if
okay.
a parenting class, I would suggest starting with that. You give them your address and that you're looking for a court-ordered parenting class, and they let you know which one's close to your area.
Okay.
Okay.
Court-ordered parenting class.
Oh, man, these are all long. Okay. We're gonna ask you and Edwin to drug test. I would give you this, but I'm going to text you the places that you can go to. So I'll send you tomorrow, okay?
That's fine.
Once this submitted. You have my cell phone number. This is my coworker, so I'm not going to give you her business card.
Your cell phone is this one, right? The one, the set?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Next thing is Cynthia spelled with an I?
Cynthia spelled with CINTHIA.
So then next is preferred language, so it's English.
English, yeah.
I'm going to sign it here because I'm the social worker. So, there it is. Okay. And then you're just going to agree to English for yourself and the kids. Sign and date, please.
Today is the 30th.
30th, yeah. And remember how I asked you if you guys have any Indian ancestry? So then here you're going to put that there's no Indian ancestry in your family. And then you're just going to sign the second one. Which sign the date, please. Okay. And then the date, please. So I gave you the list of civil rights and the Americans with Disability Act. Here you're just confirming that you received a copy of those three. So go ahead and date and sign for me. Thank you. Oh, that one's mine.
No, I'm sorry.
No worries. So then this next one is that you confirm you received a list of resources for parenting counseling. You're not enrolling, but you're just confirming you received the
I'm signing
Oh.
all over the place. 30. 24.
This next one is consent to get school and medical records for the kids. So the top one is for health records, bottom is school. So your sign date and sign in date for me.
And you said right here too?
Yes, on this line. Thank you. Okay, almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is authorization. So, oh no, let's assessment first. So this assessment is anytime we open up a case, court orders for the kids to get assessed for therapy. So remember how you asked for therapy? This is what the form is for. So we send this form to Department of Mental Health for your children to get assessed for therapy. If they decide for the kids to get therapy, then they're enrolled. And then this form we use for them to tell us their progress on therapy. So one is for the assessment, the other one's for progress.
Okay.
So,
and they have to take this, right?
Court is going to order it if you decline it either way, because anytime you open a case, it's traumatic for children.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and print, sign, date, and print, sign, date. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. The California law prohibits who knows that their child has been removed from a custody visit. No, state of California law prohibits. Removed from custody is requiring of the week, section 300, for releasing the mental health records of child, disclosing mental health information about the child based on authorization release. DCFS has received a mental health assessment. The mental health assessment is to be used solely for the purpose of funding. Mental health treatment recommended by an authorized professional. This treatment may be provided by a licensed mental health professional within the state. Developed by persons under the direction of licensed mental health professionals within the state, including discipline, psychologist, testing, case management, individual rehabilitation, day treatment, intensive day benefit.
Your sister's downstairs too?
Yeah.
Tell her not to make a big issue, because she's telling my coworker, do you guys have a court order? Do you guys have a warrant? You guys are going to get a case. So it's like she's not making it any better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I remember how we talk about a judge decides what ends up happening. God forbid it's a removal order.
Mm-hmm.
I can't place your kids with your parents because of the way that your sister's acting. The way, you know what I mean? Like, so let's.
No, but is she she's not being.
She's downstairs and
no.
My coworker, like, do you guys have a warrant? Do they have a case? Like, don't like.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to work with you guys, because at the end of the day, we're social workers. You know, we're here to work with families, but at the same time, we're not gonna take lies. We're gonna call it out every time how it is. You know. Yeah. We can't tell her why we're involved, because one, she's not the mom, she's not the dad, so it's just kind of like, pipe it down, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll text her right now.
Yeah, like, don't make the situation worse.
Is she being aggressive though?
That's how I took it from my coworker.
She's not the type to be aggressive. She's probably mostly asking, like, is there a warrant, or I don't know, whatever she's.
If there is, if there isn't, they're not your kids. That's why we're talking to you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day,
did there have to be a warrant for you guys? You guys could technically.
We can do on exigency.
What is that?
So exigency is the kids' safety is in an imminent risk that if we walk away, something could happen to them. So imagine we walk away from that house and how he's acting, and there's a missing gun. Hell yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're not the type of workers that we're just like, F
Take
that.
them.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like, let's
of
take
course,
them.
it's the kids, you know.
We understand you still wanted to talk to us, which is why we talked to you. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't just going to be like, no, F that. Like, remove.
Yeah,
I
get it.
At the end of the day, they're your kids. A ti te van a doler. A mí no. A él no. No one else.
No, of course.
So it's like, that's why we try to make you understand our concerns. Because it seems at moments you don't understand it because we tell you, and it's like, oh no, but it's because this. No, like,
no, I understand. I
the
perfectly
outside
understand.
in,
Like I said, what bothered me was that, you know, in this whole situation has been like, you know, when I asked the cops to, and I get, that's not, like I said, you said it's not your guys's, that's criminal. It's just been, you know, like I felt like I was violated from them coming to my house, and they walked away like nothing, and I'm put in this situation now at risk with my kids. So it's a bit frustrating, you know. I feel very intimidated. They attacked me. I didn't feel attacked. They attacked me, you know. Had my dad not been on the middle, you know, he would have punched me. So there was pushing and shoving, like, this is not going to go down like that. You know, we got threatened with the gun. And I, you know, because I said a weapon and not because he said pistola and I said a weapon and my mom said pistola. So they're saying there was like contradicting. And I get it, you know, I mean, at the time where everything's happening, like, you know, it's just a lot to take in and a lot to say.
But at the end of the day, not that we don't care about that side, that's not what we get paid to do.
No, I get it. But that's what I'm saying. It's
on
frustrating, this whole situation that I'm being put in this situation because of that.
And don't put yourself.
You know?
Plain and simple. Eddie's the one that te está arrastrando entre los pies. You know what I mean? So don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put your hands in the fire for him. You know him way more than us. We met him for 5 minutes max, and that was more than enough for me to be like, So why would you want to get involved in attempted murder
No, I'm not
charges?
saying that.
Keep him out of your house. You know what? Like, you can see the kids if you want, with my mom around, whatever it is. But now we're involved. So he cannot go to that house if you want to keep the kids in your custody.
Okay.
And so now we need to talk to a judge and have him determine if he's in agreement with what plan we made with you today, which is to not let him
back in. Okay.
Okay. So we don't need this one signed.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just thinking out loud. If anything were to happen, will the kids, if they get taken away, can the kids ever go to like my sister or like
can
a
relative?
relative?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure, if it goes that
but
route.
would it be that same day? Like I don't know. I'm just
so
thinking out
background
loud.
checks take a minute. If we kind of get a feeling from court that it's gonna be a removal, I like to work smarter, not harder. I'll ask you for relatives' names. You know what I mean? I don't like to do shady shit where it's just like I'm gonna just creep up on them. We don't work that way.
Okay,
we're gonna tell you
fine.
how it is, and it sounds ugly because we're not gonna paint it rainbows and butterflies like other workers do. But we're always gonna be honest. You know what, Cynthia? It's looking like it's gonna be a removal.
No, and
like,
I appreciate
give me relatives'
that.
names because they're your kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if someone were to do that to my kids,
I don't want them to suffer and like just one day from another, you know, they get taken away from me. Like
now you know, if he keeps coming to your house and you're giving him unlimited access to your kids, that's the court language. Then now at this time you're failing to protect because we told you all our concerns, but yet you still want him around your house. So
basically, if we move business if him and I move business from another location, he still come around me.
Yeah,
just
we
me?
don't care. No offense, that we don't care about you. We're
just
here
the
for
kid.
kids. Yeah,
no, I just want to make sure. I don't want to like, you know, come near him when we're working with the business and then, you know, I'm at risk to losing the kids. I just want to make everything clear, like, you know, what is going to risk my kids.
Out of your block.
Okay, that's fine. I could move.
Out of your block. Record me.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We're going on for a minute.